Hello, this is Tim Lucarelli with FXAddicts.com, and this is my weekly currency update. It is Friday, February 17th, 2012. Well, we had kind of a up and down week, and we're ending almost about where we started the week on most currencies. The euro against the dollar today up just a little bit, up 23 pips. And we're off of the highs by about 25, 30 pips. So not really a great type of move. Yesterday's move, though, was kind of a turnaround here, but today did not follow through. So that's technically not a good sign. So on Sunday evening, Monday morning, depending on where you are, the market is going to have to rally and rally substantially. And for Monday's session, it's actually going to have to close above today's highs in order to keep the momentum here and to technically make this a sound move back up to the test of the highs. Now, on a weekly basis, as you can see, we're down slightly for the week. We did have a little bit larger range than last week, but overall, we're still consolidating. We've had this move up, and now we're consolidating here. Technically, we should run up to this trend line, which is about 135, 135.50. There does not seem to be currently enough momentum for that to happen. So we could consolidate for several more weeks until we meet this trend line further out in time. Or we could rally up here in the next week or two. Now, either way, really longer term, we still see this in a downtrend, as we can clearly see in this channel here. So if we were to rally up to about that 135, 135 and a half area in the next week or two, we would expect it then to fall off. And we can kind of see that here in the monthlies as well. We're just having a little backing up here, a little correction to the upside in a longer term downward move. And this whole move for the last really 4 years, 4.5 years has been more or less a consolidation with a downward bias. So technically we should get down to about the 114 area down here at some point in the next 8 to 12 months. Now, looking a little further at the British pound against the dollar, we did have a little bit of an update today. It still haven't closed yet. We've got a couple hours yet, but up about 36 pips. Now, this had a very good day yesterday and a key reversal here, showing a lot of strength. So we're really expecting this market to take out these highs next week around 159. And technically, we should go up to the upper end of the range here on this, which would be about 163 on the weeklies. So over a period of several weeks here, we could rally up to that height, and would expect it to do that and then turn around. And we can see that here on the monthlies as well. We could rally up to about 163 or so. It would take us up about in here. And we could rally then to that point, right about in there, and then fall back off and come back down and test this trend line. And more than likely, being the third time that it's up there or down there on that trend line, we would probably breach that line and go down to the lower 130s. Now, the whole point here is that the market had this big sell-off here. That's a lot of damage. We're creating kind of a backing and filling type of scenario here with the backing up and this kind of upward momentum triangle. Very, very unlikely this market would go up out of this. It would more than likely go down. And technically, we could probably exceed these lows and get down into the 120s. So that's a much longer term view, but certainly something to look out for. US dollar against the Swiss franc down very slightly, down about 5 pips now as we're coming a couple hours away from the close. So we could actually end up unchanged. Yesterday's movement was very bearish for the market, so really expect it to sell off a little bit more here in the next week. Maybe not a whole lot. We were looking for around 90.50, and more than likely we'll probably get down there in the next week or so. And if we look at the weeklies, we could see how that could happen. Take out these most recent lows and fall down just slightly more, and then we could probably rally back, and probably rally back quite quickly as well to take out the highs up here around 94, 95. So on a monthly basis, still very strong looking. We had this spike low We've rallied up. Now we're just falling back ever so slightly. So the next push up will push us up to this trend line here, this 10-year trend line, up around 104 area. And we would probably look for that to exceed that 104 sometime in the next 6 to 8 months. U.S. dollar against Japanese yen having a very nice day today, very nice week, up now every day this week, very strongly. Up 51 pips today. We're all the way up to 79.45, 79.43, depending on your quote service. Looking for this to really rally up above 80, possibly getting to around the 81 area. We can see that a little bit better here on the weeklies. Now, here's the weekly trend line. This is a 4-year-old weekly trend line. We're decisively well above it now. We're closing this week above it. We closed last week above it. So very, very strong. A lot of strength here to the dollar against the yen. And we can see how we have this consolidation area here from about 79.97 all the way up to about 84. So in this area here is where we expect it to get up into, and then probably take a little bit of a breather for a week or two, and then another push up. Now on the monthlies, we got this 4-year trend line also in here, and we're very decisively above it for the month. So if we can close up this high in another week and a half at the end of the month, that would be very, very bullish for the dollar against the yen. Of course, if we close even higher, that's even better. So look very long term for this market. This is a key turnaround here. Very good trading here. Euro against the Swiss franc up ever so slightly today, up about 13 pips right now. Just really bouncing around here. The 120 area, S&B has said they're going to support that, and the market is really looking for some sort of a direction here, or really some sort of excuse to go higher. To try and take out maybe these highs around 124, 124.25. So on a weekly basis, we did make the spike low, same as like in the Swiss franc against the dollar. So we're looking very much same type of pattern here. We did run up, and now we're consolidating. So we're looking for it longer term to make a move higher, the euro against the Swiss franc. So there's just a lot of fundamental issues with the euro that's holding it back, and once those get cleared away, then more than likely the euro will certainly gain quite a bit of ground against the Swiss. Euro against the yen, well, up again today very nicely, and had a little bit of a consolidation earlier in the week, but today we are up above 104, 104.45, 104.50 area, which is really a lot of strength here. And if we look at the weeklies, we can see how we're getting very close now to this this upward trend line here, which is about 105 area. So really expecting it to hit up there in the next week or so, and then quite possibly falling back off. Now on the monthlies, we can see how we're having a nice rally here, and we may even get one more month where we rally slightly. But overall, this trend is still down, and there's no indication that this is really turning around. Now we do have a little bit of a doji here that we could call it and say that this is kind of a turnaround, and it could very well be, and we could rally up quite a bit more on the monthlies here. We could get all the way up to about 112, 111, 112, 113, and still not break the downward trend here. So really longer term, still looking for it to fall off, probably get down in the lower 90s, upper 80s area. So that is it for this week. If you are interested in learning more, certainly contact me, fxaddicts.com. I'm available anytime, and be more than happy to answer questions about anything currency related. Thank you.